welcome to Castle Country Cooking. Today I'm in the kitchen with Amanda Pies, and who is one of my favorite guests.
Yes, I love coming on.
Yes, we'd love to have you on. And we are cooking, Instapot or Instant. Is yours an Instapot brand?
No,
okay.
actually, mine's like power cooker.
Okay, the other one we're going to use today, we're going to do two things. Neither one of them are Instapot, but Instapot is an instant pressure cooker, right?
It is.
There are lots of brands. One brand happens to be Instapot.
Yes.
But there are lots of different ones.
So Instant Pot for me was a little bit interesting because there was that whole stigma from the pressure cookers of the past, like in the 70s when people were blowing up their houses.
Their kitchens. I mean, it still happens when people can with the pressure cooker.
Well,
then you hear stories of their ceilings being full of their canned goods.
It's almost idiot-proof, almost. If I can run it, you can run it. Let's just put it that way. So my father-in-law, Cameron and I, we have very busy schedules, and then once we had a child, he's like, I feel like you guys eat out too much. I'm like, oh, obviously we do. And he's like, you need to eat healthier and have healthier options so that you guys can have dinner as a family and that kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, I do the crock pot as much as I can, but the bad part about the crock pot is like, if you don't get up early enough, which I'm up about maybe 30 minutes before I need to be to work.
I get it. Yeah.
So I'm never up early enough hardly to load the crock pot, which is fantastic. But the whole idea of the crock pot is slow cooking, whereas the Instant Pot is fast cooking. So he bought us a pressure cooker for, let's see, about 2 Christmases ago. And I did not use this thing for about a year. I was so sketched out, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna blow everything up. I don't know how to work it. There's too many buttons. There's too much stuff with it. And I would read through the recipe book and stuff, and I'm like, this is pretty, good, healthy things. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're eating keto, which is so big right now.
It sure is.
Instant Pot can be your absolute best friend, if you are following a diabetic diet, or like if you're just a busy parent, or just have a busy lifestyle, this is going to save your life. So I dove right in, and the very first thing that I ever cooked in this Instant Pot was baby back ribs. Because I was like, let's just see how good this really works.
Yeah, I'm so excited. You said ribs, and I was like,
I know.
Really?
I know.
So I'm super excited. I don't have one, but it is all the craze. All the moms are talking about Instant Pot cooking. So I'm super excited to learn about it.
Okay, so with these ribs, Shannon, and she actually picked out a nice meaty variety, and I'm gonna have you help me because I'll get dirty here. Yep. And then really the main ingredients for this, that's another great thing about the Instant Pot, is that there is not too many ingredients needed. So with these ribs, what you're gonna be looking for is a good rib or meat rub/seasoning. If you don't have one, that's okay. You can use, your salt, your pepper, some garlic. Obviously, when you're dealing with a pork rib, something that's really good are more savory rather than like the spicy. Works really well with pork meat. And so if you're dealing, if you want to put like some clove, if you want to put some Italian seasoning on there, all that kind of stuff, you don't have to have a meat rub. But when we're talking about for the sake of time, then a good meat rub.
A good mix.
Yep, a good mix is
I
great.
buy this at Costco, and we use it on almost everything I grill.
That's how I am.
So I put it on burgers, we put it on steak, we put it on chicken.
We do the same thing, but with the Montreal steak seasoning.
Ooh, that's good. Yes, that is
we put it on pretty much any beef product in our house.
Yeah.
So, okay, so go ahead and give it a good sprinkle for me. Yeah, just get nice coating, and we're gonna do the top as well as the bottom.
Okay.
And then, so we'll I don't know, some people do, some people don't kind of massage it into the meat. But I like to.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm stab myself.
So.
Everybody who knows me knows that could happen and has. All right, so good covering.
Safety precautions in the kitchen.
Yeah, right. Shannon's like, do not stab yourself in my kitchen.
Please.
I was on air this morning talking to Monroe Magnuson about the bull riding event coming for Warrior Days.
Yes.
And he's like, I feel like if we could get you on a bull, tickets would sell out. And I said, yeah, because everybody knows that I'll be taken away on a stretcher.
That's funny.
I trip over pebbles and bust out my shoulder. So, I'm not the most graceful person on planet
I
Earth.
actually witnessed that.
Yeah, you did. That was horrible.
It was terrible.
It was very, very bad. So we're nice, it's nice and conditioned, rubbed in here. If you had the time, you could do this and, really let it soak into the skin, throw it into the refrigerator, whatever else for a couple hours if you wanted to. But the whole idea is fast cooking.
That's
so
right.
Usually we don't have time to do this. So now I'm gonna go ahead and rinse my hands.
Okay. I'm super excited about this.
I'm not gonna lie. One thing about the cooking process here is these ribs are going to look a little depleted when we take them out.
I bet, because there's so much pressure.
And they're going to, the coloring and everything.
Sad.
That's one thing I can tell you guys is that cooking with the Instant Pot. So my father-in-law, who loves his pressure cooker, he makes chili, he makes spaghetti sauce, all of that kind of stuff. He cooks a lot of like hamburger items in his pressure cooker. And with him, it's different because how when you're cooking hamburger over the stove, you can move it around a bunch and you get some nice meaty chunks. A lot of times when you're throwing, put something in the Instant Pot like chili or, some spaghetti sauce or anything like that, you could break it up into chunks if you want to, or some people just take the whole pound, dump it in, leave it. Yeah. And so then it's like kind of a little bit more stringy, the meat, because you haven't been able to break it into the chunks to form the chunks. So the same thing when you're cooking meat in an Instant Pot, it is definitely going to be cooked to temperature. But when you take it out, I was very questionable of it. I'm like, I was, temping the whole thing.
So we've been warned. I'm going to trade you spots so you can get right in there.
So all we do right here is we're just going to curl it right up. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it so that it's a little
more sturdy. Yeah,
we're going to put the taller end to the bottom and dump it right here in the pot, right? So as you can see, it fits in there perfectly. A full rack of ribs, or is that a half rack? I guess technically a half rack, I believe. Yeah. So now we need to just add our juices. Okay. So what I'll have you do, Shannon, is go ahead and put in a full cup of apple juice. Okay. She got the good apple juice, the fresh pressed.
Nothing but the best for Castle Country cooking.
This is true.
I had no idea that this was better.
So oh yeah.
That was a happy accident.
When it's kind of not necessarily transparent, that's the best apple juice. All right, so now let's go ahead and probably do about a half a cup of water. Okay. With this, your fluids don't really matter that much. You could probably put in 2 cups of apple juice per 1 cup of water. Really, all you're doing here is so that it is building up the steam and giving it flavor at the same time. So obviously apples and pork.
I was just gonna say that's a good pairing.
Yes, absolutely. Now let's go ahead and we're just gonna take this barbecue sauce, and I'm just gonna drizzle a little bit over the top, because what we're gonna do is when this is done, we're gonna put a good thick layering of barbecue sauce on it, and we're gonna stick it under the broiler to crisp it up, because I like my ribs a little crispy.
I do too.
So I just kind of drizzle a little bit. If you want to stick your hands back in there and kind of
and rub it down.
Yeah, but this is more for flavoring. Okay. Finally, your liquid smoke.
Oh, it's going to give you a nice little smoky flavor.
Exactly. So this one is natural mesquite. You can get hickory, you can get applewood. There's different flavorings of liquid smoke.
I didn't know that.
And please use sparingly, because the more liquid smoke you put in, the more rich in smoke taste you will have on your meat. So I don't like super smoky meat. So I just actually am going to put in just a few drops. I think I'm going to work with maybe 10 drops, just right there in the apple juice. Okay. And I don't believe I'm forgetting anything. I probably will if it's on television.
Of course,
that's it.
Nature.
So we're going to go ahead. You lock it down, okay? Then with your Instant Pot, of course, you just twist it and make sure that your lever here to release the steam is closed, okay? So now you're all locked down. Take it to your nearest power outlet, which ours happens to be right here. And now we're going to get to the timing issue. You will find a multitude of different times to cook your ribs. There's some that you'll see that are upwards of an hour in your Instant Pot. That's definitely a possibility. So How long you cook your ribs depends on how you like your meat.
Okay.
At the point of about 15, 16 minutes, your ribs are done. They're cooked up to temp.
Wow.
If you want them to fall off the bone, then you're gonna wanna probably cook them in here for upwards of about 40 minutes.
Okay.
Or another trick is, I'll show you guys, is releasing your steam differently. Have you guys talked about that at all?
No.
So that can affect how your meat is cooked as well.
Okay.
So all we're gonna do is, we're obviously on right here. We're locked down. And I'm actually just gonna keep that right at 15 minutes.
Okay.
And it's on, my setting is on high. So just so you guys know that when you have your pressure cooker and all that kind of stuff, you can set your different cooking temps, whether you wanna cook it low or cook it high. I'm on high for 15 minutes. A good rule of thumb is that you need to tack on about 5 minutes or so for it to build up pressure before it actually starts cooking. So you'll see that it's gonna take a while. Right now, that's what this is doing right here, is building up pressure so that it can get up to temp. And pretty much from here on out is just a waiting game. So we'll just...
Nice. Okay, well, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we're going to boil eggs in the Instapot.
Yes, which is, it will save your life, I promise.